The Denver Nuggets were left for dead in the first half, as this looked exactly like most closeout games where the team that's up in the series slowly pulls away, ready to move on to the next round. But something awakened in the third quarter, a presence we hadn't seen or felt for quite some time, and it led to a thrilling finish that promises even more epic basketball in the games to come. What got the Clippers such a big lead in the first half was their three-point shooting. They torched the Nuggets for 9 of them, hitting 53%, and when Denver could only manage to knock down 3 of their own, it was a recipe for a blowout. It started out poorly for Jamal Murray, who never actually saw where his man was in transition back to defense. Credit to Pat Beverly for sprinting to the corner, but you can't have this kind of defense in a closeout game. The Clippers got mileage out of Horns last night with Kawhi and Zubats as the double high post. On this elbow get action, Denver doesn't properly switch this, forcing Millsap to tag the roll man. Great find by Kawhi to skip it back to the corner lift, and Morris knocks down the easy one. This possession should not have been successful for the Clippers, considering it started out so poorly. Paul George looks like he's not sure of the play they're running, neither does Kawhi, and on the curl, he just dribbles it away. I generally prefer players to stay on their feet and accelerate after loose balls, but this dive saves the possession, and when PG gets into the lane, 4 Nuggets collapse with him, leaving some excellent ball movement around the perimeter until Kawhi hops into the open 3. The quick drag screen for PG trips up Murray, and Jokic isn't in position to get a hand up as George gets another open 3-point shot. The Clippers attack the Denver Nuggets' use of the hedge of the pick and roll. First, watch how Michael Porter Jr. jumps to hedge on this slipped ball screen. Now he's trailing the play by several steps. Then they switch this pick and roll. George does the old jab step trip up the defender move. This isn't really a move. And there's nothing the defense can do to stop this lick your finger and check the wind, you're so wide open shot. Here's another horn set where they flare George to the left wing. Nothing doing, so it resets back to the perimeter, where we get a piece of Princeton action as the wing cuts back door and the big man dribbles towards the corner lifting. Morris should be the guy tagging the roll man so MPJ can stay in the low block, but he comes to the midline. Torrey Craig should be closing out to this pass, and JaMychal Green gets the most wide open shot of the half. When the Clippers signed Kawhi and Paul, they definitely envisioned tons of plays like this. Pistol action for Kawhi coming out of the left corner, and watch how his gravity sucks Gary Harris in to help one pass away. This opens up the kick out to his man for yet another jumper, and it begs the question, if this stunt/help to the ball didn't do anything to Kawhi, then why bother helping one pass away like this? The Clippers take advantage of the high hedge here as Morris jumps out to stop George from going in that direction, but Landry Shamet wisely slips the screen to get to the open area on the right side. There just isn't anyone there who could have rotated, and it's another wide open jumper. Off a made basket, there really isn't an excuse for the Nuggets not to pick up a man. Millsap must recognize that the other Clippers are covered except for Beverly and sprint over there. So I nominate this for most open shot of the half. Can you hear me shaking my head? As this game progressed midway to the third quarter, it truly felt like this was the beginning of the end for the Nuggets, and a big boost they've been missing was from former All-Star Paul Millsap. While he'd done okay in the first 3 games of the series, Game 4 was a low point, and the first half of Game 5 looked like more of the same. The Nuggets run the loop for Jamal Murray as he gets 3 consecutive screens along the baseline, but Murray has struggled to get open as the Clippers have sicked long defenders like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on him, so it flows into the unconventional 5-2 pick and roll. The high hedge by Landry opens up the roll to the basket. Morris must rotate over, George must rotate down, but that doesn't happen and Millsap gets the easy bucket. The Nuggets go to Jokic down low on the block, and the Clippers double, with Shamet zoning up the weak side. Great cut by Murray takes Shamet with him, and the nice baseball skip creates a 2-on-1 with Millsap benefiting in the corner. They decided to throw him a bone by feeding him on the left block, and he coaxes a foul out of Morris when he turns to get off a little jump hook. I can't really say the Nuggets tightened up their 3-point defense in the second half. The Clippers got plenty of open looks, but just missed them. And Jokic hits the cherry-picking Millsap with a touchdown pass over the middle, and the Nuggets have crept closer. More evidence of the Clippers simply missing open threes for whatever reason in the second half. Watch Porter Jr. helping on Kawhi one pass away. He almost gets away with it considering Kawhi finished his jump stop deeper than him and surrounded by the whole team. But Porter lingers around the ball way too long, enabling Morris to get a wide open shot. Open or not, they all don't go in. So the Nuggets push the ball, get the quick drag screen, and notice how they double the ball. That leaves a 25-foot closeout by Morris, and the only issue here is that Millsap didn't get his toenail behind the line. And when the Clippers run a Harden-like double at Murray, it enables Millsap to shot fake the closeout, attack the hoop, and you'll see Beverley take 2 more little steps after Millsap had gotten into the air. 2 more free throws, and this lead for the Clippers was slightly more manageable for the Nuggets. Let's get to the fourth to figure out how the Nuggets regain control of this game. Watch the Gary Harris screen on Harrell. It gets him over pursuing and out of position as Murray comes back off the screen. Good recovery, but he gets it off and banks it in. So sometimes it's not about being good, but about being a little lucky. Based on the result of the possession, this is when I figured something was up with the Clippers, as Kawhi gets the handoff into ball screen, gets downhill, and misses a shot he almost never misses. Hey, that happens, but he got the rebound and missed this shot. I don't think I've ever seen him do that. And on top of that, we've got confusion on defense. Based on the matchups later on, it appears the Clips wanted Kawhi on Jokic, but it looks like he forgot, until it was too late and Jokic regains the lead for the Nuggets. Off the inside pick and roll, if you allow the ball handler to use it to the middle like this, you're in trouble. I think Lou passes this too early. One more dribble to force Jokic to react would have opened up more things. As a result, Jokic sends this shot back and recovers the missed shot in a huge defensive stop for them. Jokic then uses his 5-inch height advantage to just shoot over Harrell from the baseline, and the Clippers need to do something here. They get more pistol action across the top for Kawhi, and the defense tries the double team. Kawhi is a little late getting the ball to Harrell and allows Porter to get in position. The defense rotates properly and contests into a miss, but the long rebound goes back to the Clippers, and this is where you got the sense that the Nuggets were destined to win this. First, they completely cleanly blocked this strong move by Harrell to the basket. It was hard to believe, but the replay don't lie. And then Jokic and Murray have a cross-court passing contest until we find Murray on the wing. The slight shot fake with the jab step to the side gets him space in the corner to rise up for this gorgeous 3-ball, and now they're up by 6. With under 3 minutes to go, you'll see the adjustment the Clippers made defensively to put Zubac on Grant and Kawhi on Jokic. This allows them to switch the pick and roll and swallow up Murray in the process. I love the thought, but Zubac sniffs out the backdoor pass and steals it. And here comes Paul George aggressively down the right side. The step-up screen gets Murray off of him, and he hits Jokic with the little 15-foot fadeaway. With only 5 seconds on the clock on this out-of-bounds play, more evidence that Paul George is just too long for Murray to handle. And when they get the switch with Kawhi on him, it's clear Mike Malone needs to figure something else out if he wants Jamal to get any clean looks down the stretch in the half court. The Nuggets don't defend this pick and roll cleanly. Not sure if it's a double or a switch. Grant ends up way out of position and Lou gets a clean look, but can't knock it down for the lead as the Nuggets dodge a real bullet. And that brings us to the MPJ possession. I'm sure we all remember when he said this.
We kept going to Yoke and Maul, and that's, I think they're two amazing players, so you can never get mad at that, but I just think to beat that team, we got to get more players involved. We got to move the ball a little bit better. We can't be predictable against that team.
And if he needed any redemption from all the crap people gave him, well, here it is. The first dagger. Oh, the audacity. But then again, he had a 9-inch height advantage over Lou. The Clippers slip Paul George out of the ball screen, and credit to Torrey Craig for hustling over there, but this is a pretty good look for PG, but it bricks. Needing one more score to secure the victory, Lou gets stuck having to guard Jokic. Instead of ball screening, they should have just sent the big guy down to the block to take advantage. However, they still feel like there's a mismatch down low here, but PG gives him the slight push in the waist towards the middle and sneaks out to get the steal of the entry pass. The Clips are still alive. After a bit of hot potato in the backcourt between Jokic, George, and Grant, it gives the Clippers the one thing the Nuggets could not afford, a 5-on-4 advantage. Let's give more props to Michael Porter Jr. for properly rotating over and then blocking this Zubac shot. However, another wide open shot by the Clippers just doesn't go in, and the Nuggets can breathe a sigh of relief. Of course, Kawhi comes off this pin down and just quick releases a splash from downtown, but Porter Jr. hits his free throws, and now we're going back to Denver for what should be quite an interesting Game 6. Will Malone adjust how they attack Kawhi on Jokic? Can Doc squeeze a few more makes from downtown on those open threes? Stay tuned to find out. Same bad time, same bad channel. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe for more playoff breakdowns coming up. We'll have at least one a day during the postseason, so turn on those notifications so you can be alerted right away. You in?